So a common misconception that a lot of guys who are new to the game learn about is that they shouldn't show they care, or that once they show that they don't care and that they're cold, the woman's going to be attracted to them. Now that couldn't be further from the truth. It goes way beyond that. Now let's go right into it in detail. What's going on, guys? My name is Assam from dopelifecoaching.com, and today I'm going to be talking about how to give her space but still show that you care. Now, for all you first timers who want consistent updates on videos just like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell icon so that you don't miss a single thing. So women don't just grow attracted to you by you ignoring them and acting like they don't exist. In fact, that behavior over time is going to cause them to back off and look elsewhere. But here's what it's all about. It's all about experience. Very important word, experience. When you give a girl the experience of attraction and seduction in person, and then you back off a bit so that she misses you when you're gone, you get her more attracted to you and attached to you. Again, you give her the action and the experience in person, and then allow her to miss you when you're gone. Now here's exactly how you do this. First, by the spontaneity of contact. The second, by the in-person experience. Now those two things will ultimately lead to the third thing, which is getting her intrigued. When she gets intrigued, she starts to grow more attracted towards you, and you give her space by just backing off a bit when you're not in person and rewarding her in person, your physical presence, and then backing off. So how do you do this? Let's start off by number one, spontaneity of contact. So for example, if you started contacting this girl and you two are just in the dating phase, you're not in a relationship, and you religiously call her every day at 7 p.m. for 2 hours. What you want to do is you want to change it up a bit. You want to be spontaneous. Now by spontaneous, I obviously don't mean just call her at 3 a.m. when she's asleep, because that's kind of stalkerish. But what I mean is, if she's free generally at a certain time, and you know she is throughout the day, it could be during her lunch break, call her then. And then the next day, call her at a completely different time when she least expects it. And then the third day, just go about your business. And then you want to do this not because you're being cold. Absolutely not. You do this because you want to make her miss you, especially since you two haven't been religiously dating. You're just in the dating phase. You're not exclusive yet. Now this really works, especially if you have been overbearing. What this most likely is going to do is cause her to reach out. She can very likely reach out and tell you how come you didn't call or so. You just be honest. Tell her you wanted to give her space. And if that upsets her a bit, you reward her by the in-person experience, which we will get to in a bit. You reward her with the in-person experience where you give your full and undivided attention and presence in person, and then you tell her, you know what? I'm going to make it up to you in person if she ever complains about it. Which, by the way, if she does complain, that's an amazing sign, because that just says that she's really interested in you and she's upset at the fact that you haven't contacted her. If she's upset at that, that's a really good sign that she's really interested in you. So what you want to do is, when we talk about the experience in a few, you want to make this a repetitive process where most of your presence and undivided attention will be in person. When you give her that in-person experience, where you give all of yourself in person, you back off after that, and then you repeat this over and over again. She gets excited because it's like each time you're on a date with her, it's like several dates in one, and then you give her the space. She starts to think about you more and miss you, and that's exactly what you want. You're really not playing a game here. You're really just trying to reel her in by using a technique. You're not being fake. You're giving her space so she can miss you. And you openly said that. I'm just giving you space. So number two, the experience. So guys, this is really the juice of the video, and you might want to jot down some notes right here. So guys, the weakest thing a man could ever do to show that he cares is by overtly telling her over and over through words. No, we don't want any of that. You tell her through words when she deserves it. What a really wise man would do, and a guy who really cares would do, is show her through your actions and through the experience you take her on that you care. So here's what I want you to do. Every single time this woman reaches out to you in the dating phase, assuming you two are not exclusive, every time she reaches out, keep the conversation playful and lighthearted, and then set up a definite date at a definite time and place. Now, more than likely, she'll ask you, oh, where is this place? After you send the address. You tell her, don't worry about it. Just be prepared for a memorable night, or be prepared for the time of your life, whatever it is. And then when you start to condition her to do that, and then you show up in person, and you do this one powerful thing where you take her on, over the course of the date, you take her on 2 to 4 different spots over the course of the date. And by no means do these spots have to be extravagant. Because then in her mind, she's gonna start to think that 2 to 4 different spots over the course of one date, it kind of feels like 2 to 4 different dates, even though it's just one date. And that's extremely effective. And again, it doesn't have to be extravagant. One of the spots you take her to could be on the waterfront, looking over amazing views of the city for a bit. And then afterwards, you go for air hockey in an arcade. And then after that, you get some nice food at a pub or whatever it is. Then after that, just some nice dessert with Italian ice cream, cheesecake, whatever it is. So what you just did there, you took her to 4 different spots. You gave her 4 different powerful and effective experiences that are just kick-ass experiences, and she'll probably remember for the rest of her life. And then what you want to do is give her these amazing experiences in person, and you want to obviously sexually escalate and stuff like that, but there's other videos on my channel for that. And then after that, in person, let her miss you, back off a few. You're not being a jerk, and you're not intentionally being cold, but you're just giving her space while showing you care. Again, you show her you care through your actions and through the experiences you put her through instead of just words. And obviously before the time of the date, you want to take the necessary time and do the homework to plan several spots that you want to take her to. They shouldn't be too expensive. They should be affordable. And obviously you don't want to choose the cheapest either. And then when you get creative with it and choose wisely and budget wisely, you probably won't be spending more than $100. Maybe well below that if you're really creative and you really budget your money, if of course that's a concern to you. Now, when you go and do this with a woman, you give her your full and undivided attention, and you give her some kick-ass memories, and you know how to sexually escalate and indicate your interest, not by words, but by actions. And then you give her the space. You're gonna notice that it's extremely likely that she's gonna grow attracted to you and kind of attached to you. And the more time you spend with each other, the more she's gonna wanna close that gap of space in between you and her. It's really more about presence and experience than space. Because you're thinking about space in, oh, okay, I wanna make her miss me, so I'll just give her space. What it really is more about is the experience you put her through, and then you could give her some space for her to miss you, and then she's eventually gonna close that gap if you obviously follow what I teach you, because it's extremely effective. And also, guys, it's extremely likely that throughout all of this, she's gonna start contacting you more and more, and then at that point, that's when you know that you're really succeeding at this. And then obviously over time, that's gonna be like a snowball effect until slowly but surely she becomes yours if you choose. So again, eliminate the whole idea of space and think mostly about experience, and then just some space, a little bit of distance, remember. So just as a recap, guys, you show a girl that you care while still giving her space by first implementing the idea of spontaneity of contact, and then by giving her the in-person experience that's really powerful. And then over time, when you start to do this, she starts to grow more attracted, more attached, and more intrigued by you. It's all about the experience that you give her and the actions that you take that show that you care rather than say it, and then giving her some necessary space for her to miss you. And then when you really do this and you really get good at it, you'll start to notice that she's most likely going to want to close that gap of space between you and her and fill it with your presence and her presence and just bonding with you. And then once that happens and she starts contacting you really frequently, you'll start to notice that this is working for you. And that's the point where you know that all of this works. So if you found this video valuable in any way, guys, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. And also, if you want consistent updates, subscribe down below and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss a single video. Go to my website, www.dopelifecoaching.com. We have free consultations for first timers, so make sure you take advantage of that. Also, guys, comment down in the comment section below for what you think about this video and how you can implement it or plan to implement it in the future. Now, that's pretty much it, man. You got this. You're the man. Now go out there and kill it. Peace.